seeing so many Black creators and seeing so many people wanting to step into that space, I hope they walked away edified. To me, that's the point at the end of it all. I'm gonna say it. It's not ghetto. So it's very, and I'm throwing on the clothes. I'm so angry. I did not like what I was wearing for any of that panel. I was very uncomfortable.
I feel like there's a life lesson in that, because sometimes things don't go the way you want, but you just still have to keep moving forward, like go with the flow.
And yeah, you're exactly right about that. I literally had one eyebrow on. Fully, I don't even know if this is what you wanted the point of the stream to be, but you brought it up, so here we are. You should do it afraid. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be what you envision the final product is going to be. You should just do it.
Just a quick heads up, I ran into an issue with the software I was using and the recording. I had to make a lot of tweaks to make the audio sound audible. So I just wanted to give a heads up on that, but it's still a great interview and I hope you all enjoy it. Just in case we Ghost in the HTML. Oh, Ghost in, hey, what's up, man? Thank you for the follow. Another Xmen stand, the Xmen stand that we need. Man, his info on them, like all together. Oh, which also reminds me, when you were talking about the whole thing with Storm and her hair, you don't know how much I read. And thank you so much for the follow, Tiffie. I greatly appreciate that. The way you were talking about Storm's hair and being liberated from that mohawk, you were speaking to my soul, because I swear, I was so tired of every single rendition we have of Storm. She's the only African mutant, not just Black, African, with all this luscious hair that she was made with. And the first thing they want to do is get rid of it. No!
Well, I mean, even the origins of her hair being that style are because a lot of people believe they couldn't draw Black hair. So and rather than giving her the hair that she should have, even though, in her family line, it's the white hair and it's the blue eyes, and there might be that could be a discussion one day if you want it to be.
Yeah.
But not being able to animate Black hair properly in the texture of Black hair, we end up with this long, luscious hair, which I did not mind, because as a youth, she gave me Disney princesses. And because there were no Disney princesses, I got the same feeling from Storm. And I don't even know if this is what you wanted the point of the stream to be, but you brought it up, so here we are. I understand the point of the mohawk. I understand what she was going through during that storyline, and I think it was great in the 80s for the moment. What I didn't like was revisiting the mohawk over and over again. The only time to me that it was acceptable was when Russell Dodderman was taking over and doing the covers for Xmen Red, and that was like the faux hawk, and it was very cloud texture, and it looked like just this wondrous weather goddess appropriate. That was dope. That was fine. I'll die on that hill when I'm taking everybody with me.
No, I completely agree with you. The mohawk with the flowing hair, that was good, because it was kind of like a mix in between. She has the mohawk, but she has her natural hair, and it looks cloudy. It follows her element, and it was that was great. But all this other, we just ain't gonna have nothing but hair standing up here. No, don't do that to the most luscious hair in the Xmen family.
Played out. Don't like it.
Especially don't do it a million times. Don't do that a million times.
Once was enough.
Once was most definitely enough. But yes, that wasn't what I just wanted to talk about that, because I've been wanting to say that ever since you said it. I'm like, just speak it to my soul. But anyway, we're here. We're here to talk about Dreamcon. And can you believe we have the villain PR champion herself? Like, she even did the glasses adjusting. You did that. You just did that.
I think that's just because I need these glasses. They got absorbed into the character, but that's what I gotta do.
But it works. It works so well. It's just like, it's so great to be talking to you here. So just, let's get started, because, I don't want to keep you like too long, because we can ramble for days. This was your first Dreamcon, correct? Or had you been before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what'd you think?
No, this was my first Dreamcon. What, you said, what did I think of it?
Yeah.
Oh, just like off top, I thought it was great. I thought that anytime I love conventions, period. So there's that. I love our people. So there's that. And I could appreciate what DreamCon was trying to do for the culture. And I mean that for like Black people specifically, nerds specifically, and like blurs specifically. Like just across the board, I could appreciate what they were trying to do. So my takeaway is that it was a great con, and I'm really looking forward to next year.
I feel you. It's the same way I thought about it too, because I talked about this with somebody else before, how the con isn't just nerd stuff. It isn't just Black stuff. It's Black nerd stuff. And very rarely do you see the two come together. Like, they had a basketball game, they have dodgeball, they have like DJ sessions.
Random ciphers happening just throughout the. You're just walking around.
Right.
Like, oh,
right.
Okay, like.
Exactly. And
that's very refreshing.
Yes. And it's not something that, at least I haven't been to too many cons around the country. I think DreamCon is the only one I've done outside of home, which is like, I'm from Chicago. So we have a bunch of them here, but they ain't run by us. They just run by people. So they got the nerd aspect down. That's cool. But all of the other stuff that we can, get with, it's kind of like, as somebody put it, and you also mentioned it the other day when we were talking about the Xmen and the Avengers, the DreamCon is like the cookout. Other places are like a picnic. DreamCon is you coming back to the family reunion to see your family and friends, and I ain't seen y'all in a year. How you going? How things progressing? Where y'all at in life right now? And I know this is your first one, but did you kind of get like a bit of a vibe like that too?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think in one part, because even though it was my first DreamCon, I'm in the community, so it wasn't my first time seeing people there. It was just like a new setting, a new city. I also made some really great friends in the moment, like just linking up with people, in the exhibit hall and being like, oh, do you want to kick it outside the con? Just here in Houston. Absolutely. Or catching dinner with people in between panels or at the end of the day, things like that. So there's just that sense of community. And you're absolutely right. Like, I do have the privilege of going to a lot of different cons here in San Diego and in California and then across the country. And the cons are great, but it is very different when it is specifically for us. And even the difference between like San Diego Comic-Con and then New York Comic-Con, that was pretty mind-blowing when I went to my first NYCC, just because there are more Black people in New York, period. So that was just like, oh my God, here are my people. Where have you been? That was incredible. But then going to DreamCon, where not only are we talking majority Black people, but the programming and the vibe in general is tailored towards us. It's welcoming to whoever, of course, but it's for us. That even elevated the experience even more. And I'm so happy that that we have what I have loved about cons for so many years of my life. Like, I've been doing cons, I think the number is like 24 years now, something crazy like that. I've been doing cons for a super long time. Yeah. And so it's such a huge part of my life. And I love that I get to do it from this creator aspect, which changes the experience. But I love that for Blurs specifically, the scraps that I would get and hold on to coming up is widely available now, and it's quality, because sometimes it takes time to put out a good product or to host a good event. And I think that DreamCon has reached that, where it's not just like thrown together. I'm gonna say it's not ghetto. So it's very.
You're right, though. You're right, and that's something that I love to mention, that because I know RDC fell under fire a couple years ago because of like their viewership, or not the viewership, the attendeeship at DreamCon tripled from what it was 2 years ago. And everybody's like, oh, it's so unorganized and this and that and yada yada. It's like, y'all looking at all the bad stuff. Look at it like this. You don't hear about fights going on at DreamCon. You don't hear about like all of this, illegal activity or like drugs or nothing like that. We're just here to enjoy ourselves. We're here to enjoy ourselves to the point where other celebrities show up. Leon Thomas came last year, and then he came back. You were here this year.
And that says something.
Yeah.
When you come back to someplace. Yeah.
Yeah. Because last year it was in Austin. This year was in Houston. He came again. Mm-hmm. The mayor showed up this year. He was like, "Oh, y'all bring it."
Wow.
Yeah. I ran into him actually with Leon Thomas. They were there together. They took a picture, and the mayor was just like, I didn't get to hear everything he said, but the idea was like, oh, what y'all are doing here is big. Like, this is great. Like, the mayor showed up to a Black Nerd convention. Come on now.
That's
like,
crazy.
That's
really crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, you focusing on the wrong type of stuff. No one can prepare to get triple the amount of people that they expected. Like that. And then even still, Friday was a mess. Saturday was fine. Like, most of the issues happened Friday. Saturday was fine. Yeah. Sunday was cool. So it's a quick turnaround and recovery on issues that come up.
That to me is what matters a whole lot more, because I do get concerned about new cons and growing pain.
Yeah.
And that just goes across the board with any company. I was there for the first D23 Expo, the Disney convention, and my general rule, I don't like going to a convention the first year out. You have your little growing pain. No, figure it out. My time is valuable. Figure that out, and then I'll go. So for me, just across the board, I give that first year, you're just learning how to do this. Let me see what the feedback is from the general public. Let me see if it's worth the investment of me going out there and spending my time. And then when they did run into their growing pains, I thought that was very understandable, because it's hard to experience that much of a boom in your numbers. But so to me, it's not so much that they experienced the growing pains and that there was some stumbling along the way, but it's really how did they recover from it. And as you pointed out, like, the response was very quick, I feel. They saw a problem and then they addressed it, and that's the only way that it's going to get better. So I think that they kind of nailed that.
Yeah.
Growing pains are going to happen, but how do you respond to it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, to have something that big with like over 20,000 people and to just like, flip the script and make things work out for everybody. That speaks more volumes than there being problems in the first place. Right,
because there's going to be problems. Any con. And look at a con like Anime Expo. Like, how long? In fact, when I say I've been doing this for 24, 25 years, whatever, Anime Expo was my first convention. And they still run into problems. Like, they still have horrible crowd control and too many people there and too much disorganization. And y'all have been going for over 2 decades. Stop. So
right.
I'm not going to be too harsh on the newer cons that are also trying to figure this out.
Right. And then for the con to be put together by, YouTubers, like let's call a spade a spade. Like, they started off just making content on YouTube. And they had, as a group, they had the cohesion, the creativity, and the ability to make a convention for all of us. And it ain't crazy. Like, it's great every single year. So why are you so quick to dismiss these people that have been doing it for 6 years? And I mean, for them to be like 6 years out the gate, in my personal opinion, they doing better than a lot of other cons that's been out for years, for like decades, as you say.
Exactly my point. So I think that we can extend the same way people are going to keep on showing up for Anime Expo and keep on showing up for San Diego Comic-Con despite decades of experience and the same type of follies that they kind of run into. I'm just so sorry. My dog walked back into the room and just bust the door open like she pays rent here. So then I'm just like, okay. But the same thing.
No, that's cool.
My trainer.
No, it's fine. My friend has a puppy. Well, he's not a puppy, but he's the size of a puppy, and he's about the same. He's just like loves the attention. The moment I would come to my friend's house, he would just at the door, tail wagging. Mind you, this is my friend. I don't own that dog, but every time he sees me, every time he sees a person, he's just like, I need to. If I was to lay down, he just run all over my entire body and just. So I'm saying I get it.
I would not trade it for anything. So everyone else just has to cope like I do, unfortunately.
No, I accept it. If she wants to pop up and say hi, I don't even mind. She's adorable.
Did she run out again? Oh, I think someone came and scooped her away.
Well, on top of, you being at DreamCon for the first time, you came in working. You had a panel out the gate. What?
I had 3 panels.
You had 3? See, I only knew of the one.
Yeah, I did 2 panels, and then I hosted the cosplay.
You're right. You did do the cosplay contest. Well, you did 3. So how was hosting like the 2 panels and the cosplay contest?
They were, I love hosting. So I do love hosting. So full transparency, I think this is where a lot of that grace for DreamCon comes in, because truth be told, this is where we ran into some issues when it came to organization and communication. If I'm being completely honest, there was there was a lot of miscommunication. So that one panel with Cleo, I got a call. I forget the details at this point because it was so long ago. I'm in the hotel right across the street. I'm getting ready, looking at the time. I think that my call time was in an hour or so. But again, we're right across the street, so no problem. And then I get a call talking about, oh, where are you? The panel starts. And I think they said 15 minutes or something. No, I think I had something like 2 hours. I wanted to be there an hour early, but they were saying the panel was going to start the panel was supposed to be starting right then and there. I told them I could be there in 15 minutes. I literally had one eyebrow on. Wow. So I was drawing on my eyebrows and I had no eyebrow on, and my boyfriend was there with me, and I'm just like, and I'm throwing on the clothes. I'm so angry. I did not like what I was wearing for any of that panel. I was very uncomfortable, but I had to just throw something on, run across the street. And they were, so that was the first thing. And then again, for the cosplay competition, another moment of there being a lot of disorganization and some general confusion that I think comes naturally with those growing pains of running a successful convention. So what I communicated to the team there was, I'm willing to roll with it if y'all are. We understand that there was miscommunication here. I can still host these things. I got 5 minutes to prepare this, and instead of the time I thought that I would have. And a lot of times we are adjusting in the moment and figuring it out. And I think that at the end of it all, we figured it out. I think that the purpose of the panels were fulfilled. I hope that the audience for the Earth Gang one, I hope that they felt that they got closer to the artists that they love and got insight to their process and their music and things like that. So I hope that was fulfilled. I hope that with the creator panel, seeing so many Black creators and seeing so many people wanting to step into that space, I hope they walked away edified and just educated and learning something new about how to pursue their dream. And for the cosplay competition, I hope that everyone had a good ass time. And again, like for me, it was incredible regardless, because being one of the only Black people, period, and then especially one of the only Black cosplayers in a lot of spaces and being ridiculed or having to face different microaggressions because of it, to seeing a room full of Black cosplayers as cosplayers are celebrated on stage, to me, that's the point at the end of it all. So and I love hosting that, and that's bigger to me than running into kind of the road, the things along the way that we know to look out for next time. And that's how we improve this process overall. So some communication errors that I think would have taken a lesser person out. But in the end, I think the staff at DreamCon was great. The people producing the individual panels or the cosplay shows, they were great. And at the end of the day, we did what we were supposed to do. So I would do it again. I hope that they ask me to come back and host next year, is how I feel about that.
Hey, that's awesome. That's definitely awesome. And that's something that I've run into as well. Just like a mini background on me. I've been running around like being, Cleo's like volunteer or like help for the last few years, and every year that happens. I think even in the panel that you were on, like you were on with him. They were. I don't know if there was a time switch but something happened to where we had to run down there.
Said.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the time switched, and it wasn't communicated between everybody.
Cause even I think it may have been starting early, because even with the time switch, I think cause Zaina was late because she got held up by security.
Yes.
And I know you weren't really all that late, but you said you up and ran out there. So I get that.
Because I ran and they had to hold the show for a bit. Did I get there after Zaina or before her?
You got there before Zaina. Zaina and the other guy were the last two to show up, because we got there and then you were probably like 10 minutes after us, and because we thought that we were late, and then you came in thinking you were late, because we came down and we're like, we the only ones here, and then you came and was like, sorry I'm late, and then you like, oh.
They were like, oh, this is about to start. Like, they called me the whole time, well, we're gonna just go ahead and move forward. I'm like, okay, if you can give me 15 minutes, I can be there. Like, that's the way it was painted to me. So yeah, I think
yeah,
I hope that someone was taking notes, and then just next year we know how to avoid that.
Pretty much.
And that's how we grow.
And that's how we grow. That's how we change. That's how we adapt. Just learn from those mistakes. Because like being someone who's been in the background of like production and everything that's been going on there, that is probably the biggest gripe. They always have like schedule stops. And granted, I'm not in like professional production like environment, so I don't know how common or uncommon that is. It's happened every year since I've been there, so I'm just like, okay, this is just what comes with the territory. So I don't know if that's something you can speak on.
Like programming for different things runs behind. It kind of goes with the territory of running events. Things happen, especially like with Zaina. Who can foresee someone that has the credentials to get in, is supposed to be able to clear certain securities and be somewhere at a certain time, then a random security person stops them and makes that difficult. And I think that we did run into some issues like that at some point, where we did so many cons over this past summer, but I want to say that it was Dreamcon where we were supposed to be somewhere, and it took so long to try to find where we're supposed to be. So just things you could not possibly prepare for that are out of your control. And it's a snowball effect. Like when one thing starts to run late, it's going to kind of trickle down to each thing that follows thereafter. So yeah, I think the best thing you could do is have strong programming and great hosts that are going to keep the audience engaged. That way, if they're waiting or things are pushed back, that's like, hey, this happened, but we're going to move forward. Like, I think that it was a good mixture of that at the end of the day. And
you know what? I would say that you all do great at that. It's always so amazing to me to see how like things ain't going right, but the show must go on, and y'all are so good at like flipping that switch and being like, all right, it's time to work. And you get the crowd hype, you know everything you're gonna say, you have like, your notes and all that in your head, and you're going with it. And even sometimes you don't, but you improvise well enough to folks don't even know that you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so it's just like you just go along with it. And that's so, I feel like there's a life lesson in that, because sometimes things don't go the way you want them to. And believe me, after the couple of years I've had, I'm learning that the hard way. But you just still have to be able to keep moving forward, like go with the flow, as Meet the Robinson said. Go with the flow and just, keep moving forward despite that. Sometimes you gotta pivot, sometimes you gotta improvise, but you just keep it going. You keep the show going, and then it still turns out great anyway. People don't even know the difference. Like I said, anything you ain't know, we didn't know you ain't know. You just did your thing. Exactly. And yeah, you're exactly right about that. It comes from, I think for me personally, it's a theater background. Something happens. One of the first shows I did in high school, the set was the side of my character's house, and the entire thing just fell down. Like just one of the panels of the walls just fell down. And that was the early life lesson of like, yeah, no, you just got to keep it pushing. You just got to keep going. But then I think just in hosting in general, I love being a host because you do set the vibe. I can't stand a boring panel, but it's not on the job of the panelists to be necessarily interesting. Cause like sometimes I do a lot of things with authors and books.
And they're not necessarily big personalities. They're incredible writers. But suddenly they have to sit on a panel and engage with an audience, and that's not their wheelhouse, it's mine. So having a great host allows people that maybe don't have very extroverted personalities or like public speaking personalities. No, I'm gonna help guide you. Just have this conversation with me. I will keep the pace. I'll keep the tempo. If something drags, I'll pick it up with a little joke. We're going to bring the audience back in. And it's been fine. I have not always been good at this, for the record, but I think it's taken a lot of practice to get there. And when things do happen, when things do mess up, like, how do we pivot? I can't always hide a mistake, but I can embrace it. I can joke around it. I can keep it moving forward when I need to. So it's nerve-wracking in a way, but it's also it's a lot of fun. So
yeah. And let me ask, I don't know if I may have missed you saying this, but how long have you been like hosting things?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. If we're talking, I think probably the pandemic is when I started to pick up more hosting things, and that's when I did my first, when authors would request me for their book tours. So 2020, around the time of the pandemic, would be when that started. So it's about 5 years.
Okay. And is that when the PR thing started taking off, or was that after?
No, Villain PR came after. Villain PR came probably 2021. That can't be that long. I'm gonna say 2022 because that sounds, but no, I don't know. Let me see. No, probably. I think it was probably like September 2021 that I started Villain PR.
Okay.
And that caused a big jump in my popularity. But I had been making content for years prior, and had an audience from just the different things that I would do in fandom spaces. So Villain PR took it to another level for sure.
Got you. If you don't mind me asking a non-DreamCon related question, what kind of made the Villain PR thing, what kind of got you started on that idea? Because it's a phenomenal thing. And if any of you haven't seen it, check her Instagram. Scroll down a little bit, but it's a whole bunch of
TikTok. They're in a playlist.
Bam. TikTok playlist. TiffieStarChild. Look at her Villain PRs. She will make you question why you dislike villains. I'm not even gonna lie, because I never thought that I would ever agree with anything Dracula had to say. But after listening to the PR,
he warned those people. He warned them.
He warned, and I mean, like you said, that's better than most people, because if you sit up here and kill my wife, I'm coming as a thief in the night. As Jesus said, ain't no warning for that. I'm coming for your head.
He said, I'm gonna give you a year. And they're like, whatever, loser. And then what happened? I'm supposed to be mad at him?
Right. It's like, don't touch the fire, you gonna get burned. Oh yeah, right. Burn. What did I tell you?
What'd I tell you? Don't touch the stove.
Exactly.
Now look at you. Mm-hmm. Sad.
So it's like, he gave them every right to leave. And then honestly, that's the biggest courtesy, to sit up and you took away the one person that I love, and then I'm gonna give you a year to get your act together.
And it's because the story is told by the victor. And I think that they do a lot of adjusting of history. Even when it comes to these Disney movies, Ursula couldn't speak for herself, so I spoke for her. She gave Ariel a contract. It's not her fault that she didn't read it. That's how business goes. There's a life lesson in that. Mm-hmm. But as far as how long I've been speaking for villains, a long time. I don't know, especially because I used to work at Disneyland. So I remember as far back as me working at Disneyland. So this is probably 2009, 2010. So, and I would just have a lot of downtime to sit and think. I was working. A lot of time to just stare off into the distance. And I'll be like, you know what? That Prince from Sleeping Beauty. You went and kissed her for no reason. And I would drive my coworkers crazy because we're at Disneyland trying to make magic for people. And I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense. And they will tell you, I was working at Interventions and I would just be sitting there talking my shit. People ask me for a long time. Like, it's a funny thing to say if you're in a little crowd of people. let's talk about Disney things and how we should jokingly look at these stories. So I've always had these ideas that do not make me, and I think that some people get confused about that when it comes to villain PR. Some people understand that I am purely making jokes at the core of it all. Then they come in thinking they have to explain Disney to me. So if I don't go Mickey Mouse tatted 3 times, they think they have to explain Disney to me or defend these characters. And I'm like, hey, these are jokes. So I've always loved looking at the things that I really enjoy from this comedic aspect. So I've always done that. And then my friends have pushed me to actually just buckling down and making the content. I couldn't wrap my mind around making skits. Because just the editing and the, like, how do I just going back and, like, I don't know, that was a different type of content that it takes me a moment to wrap my mind around something. So I sat on it for a very long time before biting the bullet and starting to make the villain PR. And then it took off the way that it did. And for me, it was just jokes. But recently, people, like teachers have approached me and tell me that they use the villain PR in their classrooms to illustrate different points about villains, or because they end up being commentary just about different societal issues. Because actually a lot of villains you see, I say jokingly, the stories are told by the ones that win, by the victors. But with some villains, there is room for nuance, and it's not just black and white. And I could have never predicted that people were good. I wasn't looking at it that deep, but that people have started to pull those messages out of it. It's also made doing villain PR a little bit more difficult for me in a way, because I want to be mindful about the things that I say. And that's why there are certain villains that I also will never defend, not even as a joke, especially given the current political climate. There are some that I just can't, I won't, I could spin anything, but I won't, because I don't want to go there. So that's the experience of villain PR. So I'm happy people have the response, whether it's because they were entertained or educated or anything. I'm happy that it's gotten the response that it has.
Yes, and we love that. I to have like that in your mind, and you've been dwelling on it for years, and that's why you're so good at it, because of the the way you can the way you pull a story, not even a story, just like the perspectives around. Because I have a younger brother, and we were always at odds when it came to characters. I was always the hero child. He was always the villain child. And he always loved the villains. He's like, heroes cheat, the villains are better. They gotta have their moment. And we kind of got to a point when we got older, it's like where we could kind of cross and see, because like you said with Ursula, I was just listening to Pouring Punch in the Souls yesterday. Sitting up here looking at the video, I'm like, yeah, she told Ariel what was up. Like you very well could have just listened. Or like Maleficent, like the whole reason Maleficent was, they made a separate movie of Maleficent is like, don't get me wrong, she was doing a lot in Sleeping Beauty. However, if y'all really had the respect and fear for her that you did, why would you have a party celebrating the birth of your baby and invite everyone in the kingdom except for her, as if it wasn't gonna get to her? That woman showed up.
Supposed to take that disrespect?
Right. This woman showed up and the queen addressed her as Your Excellency. Your wife said that this woman has power and I'm not about to challenge it. King, you better kneel down.
And that's the problem. Men just mess shit up. Because it didn't even have to go there. It didn't even have to be all that. But the men... Am I wrong? But am I wrong?
In my eyes, everybody got their own way and messes up. Yeah, we caused it. That was definitely his fault in that movie. We be causing issues, but the queen was like, this ain't my fault. You better address her. Apparently, y'all got history.
Specifically, Maleficent, which is in a different canon from the animated one.
Right.
They're both Disney, but this is not this is not an origin story that we link with the animated film. It is
Exactly.
a retelling. It is a different story from it. But if we're going with the live action version, I don't know. When Maleficent showed up and it was clear that they had a history, that should be a skit. And it's history. I'd have been like, oh, Stefan, who is she? Yeah, where is her invitation?
Yeah.
Oh, you drugged her and took her wings. I'd have fed him to the wolves. And Maleficent could have got together, and us, with our beautiful lesbian magical marriage, our kingdoms united, raise our beautiful daughter. After, right then and there. That should have been the whole movie.
Hey, there you go. Rewritten TiffieStarChild style. Yeah. The moment he sat up here and did all that, I was like, what makes you think this is gonna end well for you? Like, why are you alive right now? There are certain things where it's just like, okay, you just have to go now. Like, why are you surprised that she showed up? Not shed a tear, not shed a single tear.
No,
not in the animated one. She was a bit more on the evil side. But again, why did you feel like you could disrespect the Queen of the Forest?
How was I supposed to be? You didn't invite me to your party. But you thought that I wasn't going to show up? No, like that was your fault. You should have gone overboard treating me kindly. You know that it's not even a thing. I don't want nothing to do with your kingdom. I don't want power, nothing. It was purely because of the disrespect. You heard a rumor about me. Mm-hmm. And rather than stepping to me like a man, you're supposed to be the leader. You didn't lead nothing. You instead of stepping to me like a man, you decided you just wasn't going to invite me to your little party. Okay. Who think I gotta kill your daughter? Got here.
How did we get here? There, clear steps.
All you had to do was invite her and be like, I have a special seat for you. I'm gonna bring you your plate. If you want it, anything that you need, you want to sit in my chair, that is not a problem. That's the best chair in the house. I want you to sit in my chair. Come on over, sit in my chair. That's how you keep the peace. Mm-hmm. And if you're like, I'm not gonna, my pride is too high. Okay, but is your daughter's life worth it? Because here we are.
Because here we are. Because and it's like that. It's that type of thing.
I'm so sorry, but you just can't be surprised when the mistress of all evil is fucking evil. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, God forbid she lives up to her name, right? I'm just doing what I was intended. My name is Maleficent. This is what I do. And you wanted to disrespect me. Now your baby dies. Now your baby dies. The little fairies ain't gonna do nothing for you. No. My little baby dies. And then, I gave you 16 years. I could have just struck the little heifer with lightning right now. I gave you 16 years of life with her.
And matter of fact, everybody in this motherfucker could have gone if I wanted to, but I'm merciful. And that's an angle I didn't even consider. Maleficent was merciful in that moment. Mm-hmm. Have you seen the movie Carrie?
We have. Yeah. It's crazy because they say that movie is a horror movie, and for the first 1 minute and 1 hour and 27 seconds, all it seems like is a girl getting bullied, and then the last 15 minutes is enough horror to account for the other 1 hour and 27 minutes that was just basic Mean Girls.
She didn't do nothing wrong. That movie wasn't horror movie. It was educational spot against bullying in high school.
Mm-hmm. Don't mess.
Did you ever
with
see
people.
The Rage Carrie 2? Oh my God, that was my movie.
No, I didn't see that one.
That one I think is from the early 2000s or the late 90s, and I don't know how I got into it, but it's the sequel to Carrie.
There's a sequel? Who lived?
Sue Snell.
Oh,
remember, Sue Snell lived. So she is a counselor at the high school, and Carrie has a younger sister that's her half sister. So they had the same daddy, and it turns out that her father passed on this gene. She has the same power. She is bullied. They do some fun callbacks to the original one, and let me tell you what happens when you spoil it. Let me spoil it. I'm spoiling it.
Go ahead.
Sue Snell gets a harpoon through her foot, and she don't survive the second film. And it's the same actress all these years later, which is really crazy. But she knows what's happening because they're not at school. She gets them at a house party. And the oldest brother from Home Improvement, Zachary Ty Bryan, he's the main bully in it. Oh, yep. And she takes the harpoon, boom, through his nuts.
Oh.
She took out his nuts.
Wait a minute. That hurt.
Through his nuts.
That hurt. That's not supposed to go there.
Through his nuts. It was through and through, because they shot out the back and then he fell into the pool and he was like, and he died. I was like, that's a terrible way. That's embarrassing.
That is a terrible.
Put it in the obituary.
That's a terrible way to go. That's some stuff you won't omit it. That's a closed casket funeral. Not even. I mean, his face ain't. Well, his face is messed up because of the reaction of what. Yeah. At that point, there ain't nothing left.
Press the button.
Yeah.
That's the point.
That's gone.
The incinerator. Throw me in.
Immediately. As a matter of fact, launch him into the sun. Put him in a rocket. Call Elon or whoever is doing space nowadays. Launch him into the sun. He's done. He's gone.
We're done here.
Yeah, we're done. Okay, that was a bit of a tangent, but great talking with you again. Other thing, what would you say that your favorite experience was at Dreamcon?
Oh, and a Papado.
Papado?
Yeah, it was the restaurant that was right there next to
Oh,
yeah. There was this, I don't know, it was, I would have to go back through my content, my pictures to find out exactly what the meal is, but I think it was it was a catfish. It was something. They had some of the best seafood I've ever had, which is very funny because the people that are from the South or they're familiar with Houston food, they're like, oh, that's just average. I'm like, whatever. I'm from California. This is
glorious.
This is incredible. We don't have Southern food like that in the West. So.
Oh, y'all don't.
That was the best part. I can't even lie. Nope. So I hope that it's in Houston. I hope that it's at the exact same convention center. I hope that it's right there with Papado. I think we might have went 3 times to the same restaurant and ordered the same thing.
Well, to make you feel better, it is going to be the same convention center. They are coming back to that exact one. I went in. Okay, funny story with me and my friend. We went in there and he was ordering stuff. And I was looking at the menu and I'm like, okay, just to simply put, I ain't got no money like that. So I was looking at them prices and I'm like, oh no, that's too much. So then I'm like, are we gonna go somewhere cheaper? And he was like, nah, I got it. I'm good. I'm like, all right. So he was ordering food and everything. He ordered an appetizer, a meal, and a couple drinks. Or in a large lemonade. That mess came out to 60, I think he said $65. And he was like, all right, cool. You gonna, he thought it was for both of us. He thought I got something too. He's like, you gonna zell me? I'm like, that's all you, big dog. And he was like, you ain't getting none? I'm like, nah, this is all you. He's like, all of this is just me? I'm like, He was like, let's cancel. Let's cancel it. We went somewhere to get something to eat. Now it smelled good. I ain't gonna sit up and knock them for that. It smelled good, but we were not in the financial place for that.
But because you at a con and there are exhibit hall things calling and there are priorities to be had, I get it. Cause
you know what? You absolutely right. Cause even though I came up there and I wasn't supposed to be spending my money, I got me an Avatar mouse pad. You wanna ask me why I got an Avatar mouse pad?
Why you get an Avatar mouse pad?
I don't even know, because I already got another mouse pad. I just saw Avatar, and I love Avatar, so I'm like, I imagine you do because your dog's name is Momo. I feel like you do.
Yes, that's part of it. It's short for Monet Creme Brulee.
I love that. My friend has a cat named Milk Dud Alize Jones. Oh my God, look at him.
You want Momo's full name?
Go ahead.
It's Monet Creme Brulee Frost Monroe LeBeau StarChild.
Oh, I like the LeBeau in that too. Say it one more time. It rhymed too.
Monet Creme Brulee Frost Monroe LeBeau StarChild.
Monet Creme Brulee Frost LeBeau. No, I missed something. Rambo LeBeau StarChild. Did I miss it?
Monroe
LeBeau StarChild.
For my 5 favorite Xmen.
Wait, who's Creme Brulee?
Not creme. Well, Monet Creme Brulee is one name.
Okay, you got me stumped. Who is that then?
Monet St. Croix?
I don't know that one.
Okay, well, look into Monet.
Hold on.
She is very fabulous. Her mutation is that she is perfect. She has a side condition that she has to contend with, but like, no, yeah, she's a black woman, and her mutation is that she is perfect.
Oh, I do know her. They don't talk about her at all.
Not enough. And there are some inconsistencies with the way that she's drawn, but I think that she's great.
Monet, yeah. I just learned about her, I think, like a year ago or something. And yeah, I didn't even dive into like what does it mean to be like perfect? Is it just like she just doesn't age, she just doesn't die, or she just, I don't know.
It's super strength. She is very beautiful. She has telepathic abilities, and she's not like at the tippity top of like these abilities. She's not going to out psychic Xavier or anything like that, but she's very good at what she does, and she's very underutilized. So she has a lot going on. She's a very, very interesting character. But she's described as Supergirl meets Veronica Lodge. Veronica Lodge from the Archie comics. If you remember.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So Monet Creme Brulee for Monet St. Croix.
All right.
And then Frost for
Emma Frost.
Monroe for Aurora Monroe, obviously, for Storm. And then LeBeau is my cheat to get 2 mutants in there. It's going to be for Gambit, of course. But since he is married to Rogue, it's also going to be for Rogue.
Hey, so. That works. Gambit is my... If we could talk about X-Men for a brief moment. Favorite mutants for me, Phoenix is number one. I love the powers. I love the dynamic between good and evil for her. Actually flip that. Storm, then Phoenix. It was Phoenix and it kind of swapped when, Storm has been, she's been respected a lot more. And I hate that they just throw her under the bus so many times. It's like, this chick controls the weather. Why y'all acting like she can't just end y'all? But anyway, that we could talk about that all day. Storm, Phoenix, Gambit, and because his powers are just so cool to me. You touch anything, you make it explode. Absolutely fire.
And you saw Xmen 97.
I did.
That remembering the episode number 5. That was. I'm sick to my stomach.
I was devastated. I'm like, of all of the X-Men, of all of the people, Beast, Cyclops. I know he the leader, but like.
And you know what? It's not even, I'm not sitting through another Cyclops death. Because first of all, I don't care what anyone says. I'm a fan of the X-Men Fox movies, like the Fox X-Men movies.
I was too. Except for The Last Stand.
But that's what I want to get on.
Okay.
I spent the entirety of The Last Stand waiting for Cyclops to come back because I was in disbelief. Like, you're not taking out Cyclops at the beginning of the movie. So I spent the whole credits ran and I'm like, so how are they gonna bring back because I genuinely was just like, and I didn't even really fuck with Cyclops like that. It just didn't make sense to me. So no, as much as I don't want to see Gambit go in X-Men 97, I'm not sitting through another Cyclops.
It once was enough.
I'm doing it, and that did not make sense what they did to that man in The Last Stand. So, and I understand the reason why, because James Marsden wanted to go do another film, but like.
There are other more sophisticated ways to go than just offing yourself. Like, no, he should not have died. Now, I'm not a big Cyclops fan just because I don't like the Boy Scout type of the personality with him. But I'm not gonna deny that this dude isn't like a beast, and I'm so glad that X-Men 97 did him in the proper light, because not everybody like, oh, Cyclops moving like that is like, yeah, don't let Fox fool you. Cyclops is moving like that. Cyclops will whoop half of the Avengers by himself. Do not get it twisted. Them little eye beams will wreck your life. So
you calling them little eye beams is crazy.
I know, because they actually are quite devastating. But outside of that, he's also a tank. Like, folks don't realize, like, Cyclops is like 6'3", 250 pounds. That dude can fling Wolverine. Like, let's not act like even outside of the mutant power, he is physically a specimen too. So
that's a big man.
Yeah, that is a very large man, and people don't see it that way. But then it's like, also, Magneto is a very large person. Just because he old, don't get it twisted. That's the most in shape old person you will ever meet outside of a Chinese movie, the martial arts movie.
That old man strength.
Okay, so I'm sorry we got tossed around on that. I'll wrap up with, you already said that you wanted to return. Can I ask you to give a few words of inspiration in before you go? I'm sorry, I didn't realize you had to head out.
Oh, it's okay. But I would love to do this again. So
okay,
we can always have a part 2 electric boogaloo of this conversation. I guess I would say that you should do it afraid. Like, you should just do it even if you're afraid of it. Like, I think that if it's your dream, you should pursue it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be what you envision the final product is going to be. You should just do it. And with experience, with time, things will come together more. They'll fall into place more. And it might not lead you to where exactly you want to go, because that's just not the story for everybody. But I think that there's so much power in pursuing your dreams. And I think that's why everyone should do that. So if it's about being a content creator, I think that you should put yourself out there. Don't compromise yourself. Be honest in who you are. Don't burn yourself out by trying to post 10 TikTok videos a day or whatever BS they're telling you to do to try to beat the algorithm. Have fun. If you are a nerd, be a nerd. Be authentically yourself. If you love Disney, but you're afraid of what people are going to say because people hate Disney adults, fuck them. They don't pay your bills. Be a Disney adult and be that loud and proud. If you love soup and every day you want to get up on the internet and talk about soup, then link me to your content, because I too am a soup girl. So there's going to be someone out there that is going to fuck with you and fuck with your content, and you don't know where it'll lead you if you don't at least just start. So I encourage anyone that wants to pursue content or any sort of dream to just jump in feet first. Just do it. Just do it.
I love that. And excuse me. And that is one of the things that a lot of people say is like, do it scared. It said, don't be afraid to fail, because you're going to mess up. And like we were talking about with Dreamcon, that's how you learn. And then, you refine, and then you move forward, and then you step up, and then it gets better and better. And it's like, even with this, I haven't done too many of these interviews before. I was afraid of like reaching out to people. It's like, you ain't gonna talk to little old me. Like, ain't nobody know who I am. But a lot of people said yes. A lot of people were cool with it. It's like, yeah, I'd love to talk about Dreamcon. So I'm like, wow, that kind of is like, I was scared, and I get to talk to you. You're one of my favorite content creators. I got to talk to other friends.
Thank you.
No problem. Hey, Princess. Somebody in my chat, Princess, just came in.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just really great to see some of the things you never thought you'd be able to do just like happening. Because if you told me 3 years ago I would be talking to you or some other people that I've seen on social media, walking around with them at Dreamcon, and they know me by name, I never would have imagined. I would have been like, you're lying, gone somewhere, don't tell me these stories, and now here we are. So I completely agree.
I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way. I've met my heroes. I've met Lenore Zan, who voices Rogue, and I've sat with her and chatted with her because she requested me to host for her book tour. Yes, and because she has this incredible, right here, it's just her book. So like, she sent me a copy of the book, asked if I would be interested in hosting the LA leg of her book tour. Never in a million years did I dream that would happen, that I'd be able to speak with Allison Seeley Smith, who is the voice of Storm. And it started by putting myself out there. So I'm honored that you're looking at, I got to talk to Tiffie. That's very cool. And it grows from there. The more you put yourself out there, like, I'm meeting my childhood heroes and they think that I'm a neat person. So
yeah,
I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like, I never thought I would meet you, and now you're cool with me. It's like, it's crazy where the world can take it. And that's one of the reasons why I love talking about Dreamcon and asking other people about it, is because like, I never would have been there if it I never would have been here if it wasn't for me taking a chance going there. And then going there and being who I am, people were like, oh, you're really cool. I really wasn't making content like that. They just saw me in person and was like, you're cool peoples. I don't want to talk too much about it because I know you said you had to go. But thank you for doing the interview. We can definitely come back and talk again if you do not mind doing that. And it can be a little less Dreamcon structured and more, you know, Xmen structured. And we can get Omar in here too because, you know, he's the other... The Xmen goat, you know, he got his facts down.
He's the more Xmen goat than I am, but don't tell him that I said that.
I won't. I'll be sure that's between us. That's between us. All right. Well, thank you, Tiffie. I'll let you get on out of here. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye. I don't think y'all understand how happy I am to have been able to do that. W interview, what's up, Babs? Oh, that's so fun. If like when I say she was one of my favorite content creators, she was one of the people that I was talking to at DreamCon, and I just had to stop giving compliments because I would have sounded like a creep. Because like, oh my gosh, she's brilliant, she's beautiful, you know, she's so cool, knowledgeable, is like great writing and this and that and yada yada. It's like, I'm starting to sound weird. Let me just take a picture so I can go. So this is one of those people. I don't usually freak out over people. Only three people made me freak out when I met them. Chris London, her, and Cutie Pie Sensei. Those are the only three people I met in real life that made me freak out. I am not somebody that freaks out over meeting people. And that, to me, look at you cheesing. I am cheesing. I'm going to be cheesing for the rest of the day. And she says she wants to come back. She says she's okay with coming back. You guys. Thank y'all for being here.